What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's get a little spicy, okay? So, in this video, we're going to be talking about Gizelle being on Watch What Happens Live, Keiarna going live, as well as Adriana versus Gizelle. So, let's get into it. So first up, y'all, let's talk about Gizelle being on Watch What Happens Live. The guest that was with Gizelle was Lotto. And I thought this was actually like genius that they paired them together because people are always saying that Gizelle and Lotto look like sisters or twins, or that Gizelle looks like the older version of Lotto and things of that nature. And honestly, them sitting next to each other, it really did give mother-daughter. Like they could have been in a movie together, and I would totally believe that Gizelle was Lotto's mom. And it was cute for the most part. I didn't like what Lotto had on. Like the energy, I really feel like she needs a stylist because they dress Lotto like very mature for her age, and I only think she's like 25, but the outfit she had on was giving somebody in their mid-30s. I was like, girl, it gave Clueless vibes, and I'm like, you're not 35. you know? But the first clip I want to play for you guys is Andy asking Gizelle, has she spoken to Karen? And if she has, how is Karen doing?
Speaking of Karen,
Yeah.
we got a lot of questions wanting to know if you've spoken to Karen.
Yes, I have. For
And
sure.
how's she doing?
And she's doing good. She looks good.
Okay.
Gained a little weight. She said
Okay.
there's carbs in jail.
Okay.
And
I'm sure she's thrilled for that
no,
to
no,
be
no, no,
the first
no,
thing that
no,
you'd say
no,
about
no.
her.
I want to say gain weight in a great way. She got like a nice little booty. She
Okay.
looks really good.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But
well,
my
maybe
girl-
she also gained mindfulness and,
yes. Yes, of course. All those things too. But I really missed her. So I'm super happy she's home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would have to agree with Gizelle. The weight on Karen does look good. Shouts out to Jay's reality blog because they posted a picture of Karen with her best friend Cookie. They went to the Chris Brown concert, and Karen looked good. Her face does look a little bit fuller than what we've seen of her before, but I think she looks good. I mean, I'm also hoping, like Andy, that Karen did gain some mindfulness while she was in jail, because being on your fourth DUI and being the age of 62, girl, that was in the body cam footage, the embarrassment. I hope you learned, Karen. So the next clip I want to play for you guys is Andy asking Gizelle, does Stacy's breath really stink? And what do you think about her getting back together with her ex-husband?
Now, Stacy's breath came up several times tonight.
Ooh.
Do you agree with Ashley?
100%.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
100%.
What was your reaction when you found out Stacy was back with her ex?
That wasn't shocking. I don't think they ever got divorced. I never believed the whole divorce of it all.
You didn't.
I did not.
Okay. And a actress showed you proof that TJ
yes,
was suing her.
Stacey for not paying him for him being her love interest.
Right. Okay.
Boyfriend. Yes.
Wow. And you saw that paperwork.
I saw the paperwork with my own eyes. I read it.
And is that an actress that we all know?
We do know her, but she's going to remain nameless.
She is.
She has asked. She was like, Gizelle, please don't put me out there.
Okay.
So I can't.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to expound upon this more in my review, but I do feel like Ashley and Gizelle are being a little too harsh on Stacey. Granted, after watching the first premiere, well, not the first premiere, but the premiere episode, I realized, dang, Stacey, you probably have been lying to us since last season. At first, I was going to give her like the benefit of the doubt because I like Stacey to a certain degree. She is so unserious, and like the unseriousness is comical to me, and the presentation of trying to be like this valley girl when we know, girl, you from Detroit, I find funny. But like the premiere episode really did expose a lot to me when it pertains to Stacey, that I was like, well, do I like the fact that it's Gizelle and Ashley calling you out? Not really, because both of them are hypocrites and they lie themselves. But on the other hand, girl, if they have proof that you're lying, present it to me. And I feel like, girl, you've been lying a lot, Stacey. Now, her whole breath situation, I think, is messed up because it feels mean. But I will say, I thought maybe Ashley and Gizelle were putting 20 on 10 until Angel even said that her breath was a little tart. And she kind of smelled her before she greeted her. And I was like, ooh, girl, that might be a chronic illness. So you might need to get that synced about, Stacey. Because normally that could be like a rotting tooth, underlying gum issues, or something internally could be happening. And you might need to get that synced about. Okay. So the next two clips I'm gonna play for you guys, I'm gonna play them back to back because to me they pretty much go together. Gizelle is being asked by an audience member how has her relationship changed with Wendy, and then there is also a viewer's question that somebody tweeted to Andy asking him to ask Gizelle how is her relationship with Monique. All right, so let me pull those clips up for you guys.
Your friendship with Wendy was really fixed this last season. So I'm interested in this next season. What can we expect?
We're good. Wendy and I are good. We appreciate each other for who we are. And I've learned a lot about her. And somewhere mid-season, I really had like an eye-opening moment about Wendy. And I appreciate her. I do.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Kyle Jordan wants to know how it was having Monique back in the group, given your past relationship.
It was interesting. But I was happy to talk to somebody that I have history with.
Yes.
It was nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
If you could bring anyone back to the show.
Wow.
Oh, I guess I know the answer to this.
What?
It would be Robin.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that's obvious.
Okay.
But I was happy that out of all the girls that, were with us, it was nice to see Monique. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Are you happy with that answer? I mean, you're looking at me like
it's not up to me.
I thought you were going to ask me something else. Okay.
Oh, what did you think I was going to ask you?
Who else?
Who else?
No one.
Oh. Okay.
Moving on.
So I wonder for Gizelle and Wendy to get to this place of like seeing each other, or where Gizelle respects Wendy. I wonder if it's going to have something to do with their fathers. Because I do believe in the super trailer when Wendy was crying about like he never loved me, I think she's talking about her dad, because we know Ashley doesn't have a good relationship with her father. And so, but we know Gizelle loved her dad. So maybe she will be able to help Wendy in some way. But it's also kind of crazy that it took this long for Gizelle to finally respect her soror, for them to both be AKAs. I've seen the girls fight, I have a parent that's a part of the Divine Nine. I know the fraternities and sororities are messy, but normally when they're on TV together, they kind of keep a united front. So to see Gizelle not be united with Wendy was very like, ooh, girl, But it only took Karen going to jail, Candace and Robin no longer being there, for Wendy and Gizelle to get on the right track. A mess. Now, when it comes to Gizelle and Monique, I'm not expecting anything out of that relationship. It's crazy to see all the Monique stands being on Twitter talking about Monique is going to let Gizelle have it and let her know, when honestly Monique is going to acquiesce and, bend the knee and just be cool with Gizelle. Because one, she wants to be back on TV and she wants that Bravo check. No matter how little she thinks it is, it ain't little no more. Because she didn't get a lot in that divorce when it comes to monetary compensation, because she didn't ask for child support or spousal support. So she wants this Bravo check, and she knows that Gizelle runs this show. She is the queen and production loves her, so follow suit. People being upset that Gizelle didn't mention wanting Candace back. We know Gizelle don't like Candace, and Candace don't like Gizelle. I did see when Candace did do an interview for the Traders event, she pretty much said, right now I'm happy being with my family. I think her son just celebrated his first or second birthday. And she pretty much said, like, if it's the right time for me to come back to Potomac, she will come back. And nobody will keep her away from that show. And that means not Monique or Gizelle. So if the show wants Candace back, she will come back. It may not be in Gizelle's favor, but Candace said, girl, if I want to come back, I will come back. But I don't understand why people were so shocked that she was like, she's fine with it just being Monique, because Gizelle and Candace gave Gizelle a lot of run for her money. So the last thing I want to play for you guys as it pertains to Gizelle is Andy asking Gizelle about Adriana. So if you guys have watched my spicy corners for Real Housewives of Miami, there was this situation between, or was it the drama video? Either way, what's her name? Adriana was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was asked by Andy, who is like the rudest person that you have ever met at like BravoCon, or who do you think is the rudest Bravo celebrity you've ever met? And she said Gizelle. She said that her and Gizelle and Robin were supposed to be sharing this Uber, and I guess Adriana wanted to sit in the front. I don't know. Either way, she said that Gizelle was rude to her. And I told you guys, I could believe it. I could believe that Gizelle was rude to Adriana. Well, Andy ended up asking Gizelle about that situation. And Gizelle's response was very Gizelle. So let's get into that.
In advance of BravoCon, what were your thoughts on Adriana from the Real Housewives of Miami saying you were the rudest housewife she's met?
I actually have no idea what she's talking about. I really don't. I tried to think, like, what is this girl talking about? And, like, she shouldn't worry about me. She should worry about all the other girls on that show that don't like her. Worry about that.
I love Gizelle. In advance.
So, like I said, that was definitely a Gizelle response. Okay? Because Gizelle was like, I don't know what she's talking about. And I could definitely see Gizelle being rude, like intentionally and unintentionally as well. And her being like, girl, I don't know what she's talking about. She need to worry about them other girls, not me. But it looks like Adriana, Marisol, and Alexia had some comments about this. So Queens of Bravo captured this, where Alexia said, so good, my friend. What a great answer. And then Marisol said, that a girl. And then she added Gizelle. Then a person by the name of Jenny Wren said, he asked Adriana a question. She answered. Adriana isn't worried. She's just honest. And then Adriana responded to this person by saying, thank you for understanding. And here's my thing. Just like Adriana was being honest about Gizelle being rude, Gizelle is being honest too with her saying, girl, I don't know what she's talking about. And when you call somebody rude, no matter if you're being honest or not, it is like people are going to take offense to it, especially if they don't feel like they were intentionally being rude to you. So I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. I think it's funny. But let's move on. So, moving on to our last thing that we're going to talk about is Keiarna. So, if you're interested in Keiarna's opinions and takes as it pertains to the episodes, make sure after every episode at 9 o'clock, you go to her Instagram. So, Keiarna posted this the other day, and it says this: Kiki with K, K.Stewart, RHOP. It says live chat on Instagram at IMKStewart every Sunday at 9 p.m. Sponsored by K Stewart Beauty. I don't think this is a good idea. And the reason why I don't think it's a good idea is because this oftentimes backfires on the girls. It really does. The only time I have seen this work for people is for Dr. Heavenly. And even that doesn't really work for her because people find her behavior on her YouTube channel to be deplorable. So it's just like, why not just let the season play out and then address things if it's something that's really important? But coming after every episode to do a live is not a good look because it feels as though you're trying to get ahead of something. And I don't think Keiarna planned this. And what I mean by that is I think possibly she saw how people reacted to the sneak peek of her sit down that she had with Wendy at Ashley's second Bloom party. And a lot of people felt like Keiarna was reaching and just wanting to have a fight with Wendy, and she sounded stupid. And there's been a lot of people, myself included, that have been saying that I understand what Keiarna is saying about Wendy, but the examples that you're using aren't good. And it doesn't seem like Keiarna is good at communicating her feelings. And when you're going up against somebody like Wendy, you need to come correct because she is very intelligent. And I think Keiarna thinks that, hey, if I get on live and I explain myself and people see my point of view, then they'll understand why I'm moving this way. But oftentimes, like I said, it backfires because people feel like, why are you trying to mess up my experience of watching this show? Just let it play out and then address everything at the reunion. So we will see how long Keiarna is consistent with these lives, because I feel like even the clip that I'm going to play for you guys, she was getting irritated with some of the things that people were saying, and I'm like, girl, you're really opening up yourself for an onslaught of negativity, because not everybody that tunes into your lives is there to support you. Oftentimes they're just there to get the tea and probably troll you. But let me get that clip for you guys.
What do you think about people saying you're looking for a moment with Wendy? I don't agree, but that's what the people are saying. The people online really don't know. Here's the thing, guys. To say that there was a moment needed, I don't need a moment. I got a whole lot of story. I got a real life. I got a real business and real life. I have real things going on. I don't need a moment. I think, to be honest, it was one of those things where it was like a pile-up, you know when somebody keeps doing things and you're like, this keeps getting weird. And it just, for me, at that point, I was like, you know what, maybe I should address it, because am I missing something? So yeah, that's kind of what that was like. No moment needed. When you have a storyline, you don't have to make up moments. What is relationship with Stacey right now? What relationship? Okay. Do you speak to Candace? I think I asked that. Do you offer massages? No, we do not. Okay, guys, we're still into it. Let's get into the questions. Hey. I think it was time somebody. She's been. Listen, you know what? One of the things I want to say is that I actually came into this group really, really liking Wendy, and for me, it was more so, this conversation was more so about, like, am I missing something in our dynamic that I felt like it was a consistent thing? And I didn't want to show up and feel a certain kind of way about Wendy. And I wasn't sure, like, if this is just her personality and she's socially awkward, or if she feels away, because I felt that there was just a major disconnect between us. It's a real issue. Guys, so stay tuned, because I want you guys to see a little bit more of me and Wendy unfolding, because tonight's episode was kind of like me stating my piece, and I think you're going to hear a little bit more about Wendy's feelings very soon. But for the most part, once I say how I feel about something, I'm pretty much done with it after that. What we'll learn about you this season that we didn't know before? This season, I think for the most part, if you guys go back to my season 8 season, I was always pretty, like, I asked the questions, I was direct, I kind of stood on my feelings, and I think that this season you will see me lean a little bit more in that. I try to stay as authentic as possible and be real about who I am and how I feel, and I think that people are just going to see that one thing Kane is going to do is stand on business. Do you feel like, do I feel like Wendy gaslights? I feel like she likes to avoid issues by playing innocent and spinning what happened with a fake positivity. Oh, I 1,000% agree with you. I absolutely agree with that. And it's a consistent thing to try to act like, oh my God, I don't have an issue, you have an issue. It's like, okay, but where did the issue come from then? Where are we coming from with the issue then?
Truthfully, I get what Keiarna is saying about Wendy. I even had this conversation with one of my close friends, because I now got her watching Real Housewives. And she was like, I think Keiarna's reaching. And I was like, for right now, I'm not going to say she's reaching when it comes to her issues with Wendy. I do feel like there is some validity to what she's saying. But that's only because I've always kind of felt like Wendy was phony. And this was after her first season, after season 5, when she came into season 6 being buddy with Karen. That was always weird to me, and it made me just see, like, okay, you're willing to go along to get along. You are smart enough to know, let me align myself with one of the OGs and one of the favorite OGs. Okay, But there is a tinge of phoniness with Wendy. So I don't think Keiarna is reaching necessarily, but she is not, like I said before, she's not good at communicating, because I'm like, the examples that she gave in the episode, girl, the only one that I was like, yeah, I see what you're saying, is when she was like, oh, did you do your own makeup? Because that could be taken either way, especially if you already feel like the person is being dismissive or trying to underline shade you, you know? But that's all I got for you guys. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely drop down in the comments below and share your thoughts, and like the video and subscribe. But also be on the lookout for my review for Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 1.